And welcome to another edition of 15 Minutes with the Supervisor. Joining us today, out of District 3, Steve Miller. And Steve, let's talk a little bit, let's get right into this. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about economic development in District 3. It seems like a lot of things are going on, but one thing that did happen recently was the grand opening for the, not Tractor Supply Company, but we have Tractor Supply Company. They're a great big
Tractor Supply opened up their distribution center in Casa Grande, and they're about, I think it's around 800,000 square feet, with plans to expand to eventually close to 1 million square feet of warehousing and distribution center, which is fantastic. The good part about the ribbon cutting was the accolades that they gave to not only the city of Casa Grande, but Pinal County in the positive attitude, the help, and to pursue their operation. It was seamless. In other words, we're here to help, and we're here to provide people with a working environment that so they can achieve their goals of opening up their operations.
Since you guys have come on board, all 5 supervisors, it seems that you guys have given Tim Knavel the free rein to do whatever he needs to do, and he's kind of turned that into a partnership between community development himself and public works. Let's talk a little bit about that. You talk about a new attitude when it comes to economic development. Do you like seeing that?
Oh, I love it. Actually, I just left Tim's office just a few minutes ago, and you know, the thing that stands out amongst this Board of Supervisors, and I'll say Board of Supervisors throughout the state, the 5 of us are committed to economic development. I truly believe that. We may not see eye to eye on certain issues, but there's one thing we're all on pulling we're pulling the wagon the same direction when it comes to economic development. And I applaud staff, because staff has taken on actually one of my campaign slogans, and that was, we're here to facilitate, we're not here to regulate. We're here to come up with solutions. We're here to get you the end result that you're looking for. And not just the 5 of us have that same attitude, but the staff has embraced that as well. And you know, I look at community development, I look at Greg Stanley, at Tim Knavel. When somebody comes here, we want them to have success, and so we're committed to it.
Let's talk now about, is there a fine balance between when a company comes up and says, I want to open up a business here, to not, you know, giving them what they need, but not giving them the entire store?
Oh yeah, no. And you know, we're not going to, we're not going to just go at any whim. They're vetting us, and we're vetting them. I can tell you that. We spend as much time and effort looking into these operations in these companies as much as they look into us. And we want to make sure it's a compatible operation, it's an operation that is responsible and community-oriented. And we've been very fortunate, because of the industries that have come have been those type of people. And you know, it is a fine line. You don't want to just give away the store just whatever they want at any whim. We have regulations. We do have, you know, criteria that has to be met in order to help facilitate your operation, and we make sure that they meet all those criteria.
A lot of other work going on in your district. You have a racetrack coming in too, from what I understand.
That's what we hear.
You're talking about. Sure, you're talking with Tim about that.
We are, and they haven't announced, and so. But again, those folks have been very reasonable about their expectations as to what the county can provide for them and what they need. So we wish them the best. I think they're in the mode of really securing their funding. I think, and I don't know that positive. I don't know really well the ins and outs. I don't like to talk too much about operations until they publicly come out and announce it. But if we can help, we're there. And if there's other things we need to look at, they know that they have an open door policy here at Pinal County that they can come see us.
Real quick, Phoenix Smart, any update on that?
The update that I have from them is they're going to pull out of the federal program and go to a more conventional private funding of their facility. They claim that they have enough money, enough investors that they can build this on their own. So, which I can tell you, if you can do it without the federal government, you're better off doing it. It's probably going to save you money by doing it without the government. So I wish them all the best. And the good thing, people, the thing I want to always emphasize is, they haven't cost us a dime. They've done this. They haven't asked for anything. They haven't came to us and requested anything. So that part of it, hey, I wish them the best. And so I think I think that's one of those projects that will be seen, I'll just pick a number, like 10 years from now. We'll look back, hear this facility, and go, God, we didn't think it'd ever happen. And it'll be one of those things that it'll be a landmark in the area, because you'll say Phoenix Smart and they'll say, oh yeah, Casa Grande. Or you'll say Casa Grande and they'll say, oh yeah, that's where that Phoenix Smart is. So anyway, I'm still keeping a positive attitude, and that they're going to be able to facilitate their operation.
Now, speaking about not costing us a dime, but they are actually costing us a dime, state legislature finally went sine die. Impressions about this last session?
Well, the dust hasn't settled. I think there's been some things that were of concern. I have to tell you, that CFD bill that was being floated, I applaud the governor for vetoing it, because I think that was a real bad thing for not just Pinal County, any county. I mean, if they put those rules in place, and I know CFDs, one, because I've negotiated CFDs from the city council side of things. I've followed that program very closely. Having been a builder and developer, I get it. I understand why CFDs are attractive, but you have to understand that they are another level, they're another layer of taxation on a piece of property, which I don't know that the general public really understands how a CFD works. It's a way for the developer to get his money sooner. However, I think the limits on how those taxes are assessed and brought forth need to be by an elected official who can be replaced. When you have private individuals that have no accountability, nobody to hold them accountable for their actions, they cannot be the ones that are setting the rates on those tax levies. It's kind of, I'm down in the weeds talking about, I'm talking at a level where a lot of people probably don't understand the ins and outs of CFDs, but that was one of the scary things. I'm just wiped my brow when the governor vetoed it. I don't know, I've received some lists. There was some economic development legislation that looks like positive, that's going to make it easier for some industries to implement product and that kind of stuff. That's good. I'm all happy about that. But I think lots of times with state legislature and what they do with their actions are not really seen as beneficial or not beneficial for a while. It's kind of like you got to wait for it to be implemented and used for a while before you really see what the true effects of them are.
Now let's switch gears here. Let's talk about the upcoming Pinal County budget. It seems like we've survived so far this past year. You want to see a tax cut? Are you thinking we're going to be able to get one?
I'll be very realistic. I want a tax cut, but I don't see us getting a tax cut. I don't see us being able to cut the taxes. But I also don't see us increasing the tax rate. We are, you're in a real quandary in the county. We rely on property tax, and what affects that is assessed value, and I don't see assessed values going up significantly. If they went up significantly, we would be able to lower those rates, but it's still pretty flat, it's pretty minimal, it's not a lot of increase in the assessed value. So that being said, if we hold status quo, I think that's a good thing. I'm always for a tax cut, and I also come with the philosophy that I can't control the income. I can't control how assessed values go up, but I can control spending. And that's my job as a supervisor, is to spend your tax dollars wisely. So my philosophy is I'll pay attention to the spending. As the values go up, then that'll relieve the pressure.
And people have seen their budgets here cut.
Right.
That's right.
That's true. And we have gone, of course, and again, my philosophy did not prevail. My philosophy was we should take the big cut the first year and pull the Band-Aid off all at once, and we probably would be status quo, would be the same. We have chose to take a little bit off now for almost 3 years, which consequently will end up the amount I wanted to take off the first year. So anyway, the long and the short, how you get there, I don't know, but it is difficult. You don't want to diminish the level of service to the constituents, but frankly, I myself have not received any complaints as far as everybody seems to receive their tax bill. Everybody seems to be able to get whatever notices they need in the mail. We've been, in other words, and the county's done a very good job of maintaining the statutory requirements that are set forth in the Constitution. So status quo, I think, is good right now.
Okay, well, on a good note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So,
very good.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Supervisor Miller, for this.
Thank you,
15
Joe.
minutes with a supervisor. I don't think we went over. I think we went under, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
We're under budget there.
I'm not a man of many words.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us.